Hello and welcome to this special video. I'm gonna try to give you guys an overview of my gaming collection, if you will. I've never really done a video like this before, so this might be a bit wobbly. I don't know. I don't have a stand or something, so I'm gonna have to do this in a very primitive way. But so just a quick note is that for certain gaming consoles, some of the games that I have here today are actually my sister's, because even though she's not really a gamer, she did play certain video games, especially during the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 era. So I'm probably gonna point those out. But you know, I am actually the one sitting with all the gaming consoles now. My home is actually kind of like a time capsule or a museum from days past. Basically, I'm sitting on all the old shit. Okay, so that's why some of these games are here. But anyway, let's just get to it. My collection is not really that big, but it is. I don't know. It's a decent size, I guess. So let's start with the PlayStation 1. I don't really have a particular order. I'm just gonna do them the way I have them set up on the table here. So PlayStation 1, first game, Hugo, and this is actually written in Swedish, which is my language. So the Sunstone, something like that. Anyway, it's a pretty fun game, but kind of weird. Lacks music. Hercules. So this was a game. This is one of my sister's games. She really liked this one. I think most of the Disney games that I have in this very small PlayStation 1 collection are my sister's, but we used to play these together, so this one was okay. It was pretty fun. Mickey's Wild Adventure. I probably played this one at some point, but not very much, so can't really say anything about that one. Tarzan. This one I did play. I don't know if I ever completed it, but it was a pretty fun, I guess. I wasn't really into the PlayStation 1 era that much. Even back then I felt like the 3D technology just wasn't really there yet, and so a lot of these games are really awkward to play. This is a fun game though. I don't really know how to pronounce this. This word, kula, or whatever, actually it means in Swedish, it means marble, so I don't know. Maybe these developers are Swedish. I don't know. But this is a great game, great puzzle game. I love this. I never completed it, but I really like this one. Croc 2. This is a game I just never quite understood as a kid. This is a game that really suffers from early 3D game disease. The platforming is really awkward, but I think I played the first game at a friend's house or something, and I wanted this game, so I ended up getting Croc 2 for Christmas or something like that at some point in my life. I don't really know. This might be my favorite PlayStation 1 game, Pandemonium. This is a great game, great platformer, really fun, awesome music. Yeah, this one is awesome, and you really should play it if you haven't. Last but not least is Quack Attack, which I think it's called something different in the US, or maybe in other parts of the world as well. I remember having the demo for this one for PC way back in the day, and I don't know, I thought it was fun. And so I actually got it for Christmas, or I guess me and my sister. This is another game that me and my sister played together a lot. So, okay, now some random PS2 and PC games. So we have Half-Life Anthology. I'm not really that big of a fan of PC games, but this one is pretty cool. Half-Life Anthology. I love Half-Life. It's a great series. We wanted to do an LP on those games, but I can't really record my PC games yet. Anyway, here's Grand Theft Auto, PC version. I had the PS2 version to begin with, but I just love this game so much that I ended up buying the PC version as well. And I had a lot of fun with this, downloading mods from a site I used to visit a lot at the time. Lord of the Rings, this is my sister's, and this is actually not based on the movie, this is based on the book. So this might have come out before the movies, I don't know. But I think my sister didn't really like this one. She didn't really know what to do, and so yeah, I never played it. This one is mine though. This was when I was really into the movie trilogy, and I remember playing this game. I don't know if I finished it, but I only went through it once to the point where I think I stopped. But I guess it was okay. It would be interesting to kind of go back and see what kind of game this really is, because I don't remember at all. The Sims Complete Collection. Believe it or not, I am actually a big fan of The Sims, the first The Sims, and we're gonna get to all. I have all the expansion, individual expansion packs as well, so we'll get to those later. I bought this one when I was in Japan. I just got this huge craving to play The Sims, and so I went onto Amazon and I bought this one. So yeah, pretty cool. I guess this is not really a game. EJ, you make music. I don't remember where we got this from, but I like music. I'm not really into the kind of music that this game provides for you, but making music is fun nonetheless. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. This is my sister's. She got this one for Christmas, same year as maybe for her birthday, but the same year as we got the PS2. We played this one quite a bit. It's fun. It has a pretty good soundtrack. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. This one we did play even more, and I remember we used to cheat, so we would get all the stats and what have you, and unlock all the stages, and then me and my sister would just compete against each other. That was fun. This is weird. This is a game my dad actually bought. I remember playing it a little bit. I'm not really into racing games, but it was alright. And this is my sister's game, which I remember helping her with a lot because she got stuck. And back in these days, I was capable of reading English, and internet was. This must have been 2002, 2003 maybe. So I was on GameFAQs, and trying my best to read the walkthroughs there. And so I helped her a lot with this game. Okay, so maybe we shall go on to my N64 games, which I only have 3, and it's the big ones. Mario 64. I played this one a lot at friends' houses back in the day, but I just got this last October, and yeah, I had tons of fun with this game. This game is great. This is my only original N64 game, Ocarina of Time, of course. One of the best games there is. And then, again, last October, I ended up getting Majora's Mask, which I haven't actually played through yet. I mean, I'm very familiar with the game, but I'm familiar with it via a friend. I played it at a friend's house, and also I watched LPs of it, so. Alright, I guess we can go to NES games, because I don't have a lot. Actually, I never owned an NES as a kid, but my cousins, I should say, had 2. So I think at some point I ended up getting one of those, as well as 3 games. I think when we sold our summer house that we shared it because it was actually my grandfather who built it. But anyway, so Mario 63. Mario 63? What? Super Mario 3. Lolo 2, I remember playing this as a kid, not quite understanding what to do. All of these games, I mean, I used to play NES a lot as a kid during the summers because they had, my cousins had one of their NESs at the summer house, so I used to play it a lot during the summers, and I could never understand these games. Zelda, of course. And then the one that I bought myself back when I was in high school, which is this amazing game, Shadowgate. There used to be a store that sold these retro games, and I found this one and I ended up buying it because I just had to have it. And this is a great game. I would love to do an LP of it once, but this is actually the Swedish version, so it would be kind of weird. So that is it. Gonna see. All right, let's go on to my SNES games. Now, keep in mind, I only had 4 as a kid, 4 NES games, but these are some of the best games ever made, in my opinion. So I'm not very sad about that fact. So, hold on, well, A Link to the Past, the best game ever made, probably. Well, along with Super Metroid. Donkey Kong Country, of course. Yoshi's Island. What a great game. And the first game I ever owned, Super Mario World. Of course. What else would it be? So now we should go to Game Boy games. This is my sister's. I know I played this once. It took me an hour to complete it, so yeah. Nothing to say about it. Then we have some weird games here. Now, as a kid, me, my sister, and my dad, we used to do some trips to Spain, like 2 or 3 over the course of as many years. And every time we went there, we used to buy these kinds of games. Like here's 32 in 1 type of games. So we have a bunch of these. They were never really fun, but it became like a tradition to buy these games when we were there. So here's one of them. Here we have 20 in 1. I don't think you can see what games are on here. So here we have 12 in 1, 18 in 1, all color, yay! 32 in 1, and then this game, which this must be my sister's too. I've never played this one, so I have nothing to say about it. Then we get to the good Game Boy games. Well, we have this one, which I'm actually thinking about doing an LP of just for fun. Lego Island 2, Brickster's Revenge. This is my sister's, but there's just something about this game that I kind of like. I like the overworld for some reason. So, yeah, I've played it a few times. Metroid Zero Mission. Amazing game. Metroid Fusion. Freaking amazing game. Link's Awakening, the DX version. Bought in '98, I'm pretty sure. For some reason I remember that. I remember sitting in my car playing this game a lot. Well, not in my car, but my parents' cars. And then Wario Land, or Super Mario Land 3, the first Game Boy game I ever owned. So, yeah. And if you want to hear more about the story of this game, I just started an LP with this game. And then we have some who are still in their boxes. Advance Wars. This was my first Game Boy Advance game. It's a strategy game, and it's alright, but I'm not really that big on strategy games, so... Then we have A Link to the Past, with 4 swords included. I've never played 4 swords. This one I actually bought as a substitute, just in case my original copy of A Link to the Past would break. And this was bought, I don't know, maybe 2005, 2004. No, 2005, I think. I'm pretty sure. That was the big Zelda summer for me when I returned to playing Nintendo games and Zelda games and what have you. We have The Legend of Zelda from the NES Classic series. It's just a straight up port. There's nothing new to it. I think there's a save feature, and that's the only thing that's like different. You know, where you don't have to die in order to save. But this is the first. This version is the first one I completed this game with. So interesting. Minish Cap. What a great game. What a great game. This is fantastic. I love this game. And then we have, let's bring them both out, Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages. I actually thought I didn't have these boxes still, but I actually found them, believe it or not. When I was moving from my old home, I actually found these in in a box somewhere. And I can't believe that I actually saved these boxes. I mean, so that is really awesome. Really happy about that. And then I guess we can go to something I'm very happy to own. Mother 3. With the box and everything. I found this one while I was in Japan for, I think it cost over 5,000 yen. Which, what is that? Like $50 or something like that. I haven't actually played the entire game myself, but I've watched LPs of it and what have you. And yeah, I told myself when I was going to Japan that I have to buy Mother 3, but I could never imagine that I would find the box and everything, so that is really cool. Okay, now I don't have any more games on my table, so I'm gonna have to bring up the next piles. So, alright, let's continue. I'm like surrounded by games right now. Anyway, so speaking of The Sims, here is my whole collection of these. This is the original one, but the disc, the installation disc is gone, and so I actually bought a new one. Just had the installation disc, which I bought, what, 3 years ago now or something like that. Just living it up. These always bring back great memories from days past. House Party. Hot Date. On Holiday, which I think this one is called Vacation in America and maybe other parts of the world. Unleashed. Superstar. And Making Magic. By this point I was I wasn't really playing The Sims anymore though, but I did play this one a little bit. I think this one is my sister's. Anyway. And then buried underneath here is GTA 2, which is a very fun game. I like this one a lot. Okay. On to my very, very small selection of GameCube games. We have Metroid Prime 2, which I bought just because. Anyway, and then Wind Waker, which is the limited edition, so it comes with Ocarina of Time and Master Quest, which I've never played Master Quest, but I'd like to. I want to try that one sometime. Alright, and let's go straight into the Xbox pile, Xbox 360 pile. We have one of my all-time favorite games, Oblivion. Love this game. Skyrim, which wasn't really as good as Oblivion in my opinion, but still a great game. Mass Effect 1, one of my all-time favorite games. And then Mass Effect 2, which is way worse than Mass Effect 1. And then we have, of course, Mass Effect 3 with the greatest ending of all time. Orange Box, which of course it has Portal, which I'd love to do again an LP of Portal at some point, but I can't really record my 360 with the primitive setup that I have. Fallout 3, which I did buy not too long ago, like 4 years ago, but I haven't actually played it very much. Like every time I go on to play it, I always sort of lose interest very quickly, which is sad, you know, because it is a great game. I just don't really get into it. Saints Row 1, this was a very fun game to free roam, but it wasn't really very interesting as far as the missions went and the story and what have you, so yeah, still very fun to blow up cars though in that game. Condemned, so I'm not really into horror games, but this one is pretty neat. I like this one a lot. It's also the first 360 game I got. Then we have The Darkness, which is also a very fun, very interesting, kind of brutal game that I played a lot back in 2008. I think when it came out, I did do a couple of playthroughs of it because it was very short, but I haven't played it since then though. It would be interesting to go back to it and see what it's about now. And then I have my original copy of Mass Effect 2. I unfortunately destroyed the disc on one of those. Not intentionally, but still, that happened. PlayStation 2, this one I actually found today. This is an old demo, which actually has a demo of the next game I'm going to show you, which is SSX. I don't really like sports games, but I do love the SSX series, and this is a game that me and my sister, again, we played this one together a whole lot, and we played the living shit out of the demo, and then we bought this one on release, and it's a great game. I love this game very much. So this is actually a newer copy because our old disc broke, so I ended up buying a new one. Then we have SSX Tricky, which is the one I played the least. Actually, no, that's not true. It's on tour that I played the least. But this one is obviously the most famous one, and it's pretty fun too, but I like the first one better. SSX 3, I've spent way too much time playing. I am actually playing at a very high level when it comes to freestyle in this game, and I post those videos on a different channel. Yeah, I actually have two discs, or two SSX 3s, because I'm playing this game that much. And but it's a great game, but unfortunately when I went pro, it kind of ruined the fun for me a little bit. So, but yeah, lovely game. It's my favorite out of all the SSX games. This one I actually bought last year, and I played it a bit. I haven't completed it yet, but it's really fun. It's just like 3, basically. It's a really cool game. I like it a lot. Then we have Grand Theft Auto 3. What an amazing game. And then we have the follow-up, which I had so high expectations of this game. You can't believe. Like, Grand Theft Auto 3, I found that out on an accident. I played it at a friend's house, and then I wanted it for myself, and I fell in love with the game once I got it. So this is the first GTA that came out after I was aware of the series, I guess. Even though I had heard of it before that, but that's besides the point. I had so high expectations of this game, and believe it or not, it met every single one of them and more. So yeah, and I'd still say 3 is my favorite, but only by a little bit, because this game, holy shit, this one is good. San Andreas, which is also a fantastic game, but I actually felt like the missions became more dull as the game went along, but the free roaming is amazing in this game. And then we have Liberty City Stories, which I just bought because, hey, it's GTA, right? But it actually wasn't that fun, so yeah. Anyway, let's go on to Wii games. We have Metroid Prime 3, Corruption, which is a good game. A good game is a great game. And then we have the Prime trilogy, which I would probably consider my best buy as far as video games goes, because I just love the trilogy. It's amazing. I can't. There aren't enough words to describe how much I love the Prime trilogy. Super Mario Galaxy. I was gonna say 2, but no, this is not 2. This is the first game. Love this game. Then we have 2, which I was kind of raging at this game at first. I don't know, I thought it was kind of weird at first, but I've grown to love it since then. So, yeah. We have the Wii version of Twilight Princess, which, of course, this is a great game, but the Wii version is lacking a little bit, thanks to the controls. But yeah, fantastic game. The best Metro game ever made! Other M! And actually, I do like the gameplay of this game, but the story is appalling. Let's just say that. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. But the gameplay is actually kind of fun. So if you skip the cutscenes, then you have a pretty neat game, I think. And then we have the stupidest buy I've ever made. This is Metroid Prime, the GameCube version, but it is the NTSC version. I cannot play NTSC games on a PAL console, so yeah, what a waste. Alright, moving on to Super Famicom games, because I do have a bunch of those. The good thing about living in Japan is that you can buy retro games for really cheap. And so I bought a bunch. So we have Mystic Quest, and it's interestingly enough called Final Fantasy USA. We have Final Fantasy IV. We have Final Fantasy VI. Mother 2, which is Earthbound, if you didn't know, but you probably do. Breath of Fire 1, I think, yeah, it's 1. And of course we have Chrono Trigger. This is just a chance for me to sort of buy or to own physical copies of retro games, because in my country I cannot possibly collect physical copies of retro games, because it's just so goddamn expensive. There's no way I could do that. So that's a good thing about, as I said, about living in Japan. You can get these for really cheap. Super Mario World. The thing that kind of it could be annoying though is, of course, that the games are in Japanese, which isn't a problem for an action game maybe, but for an RPG, I'm not fluent in Japanese, but even if I were, I'd still feel like I just get more feeling out of a game when it's in English, because that's what I grew up with, you know. So I don't know if you do understand or not. Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island. Castlevania 4. We have Jerry Boy, which I think is called something different in the English release, but I don't remember what it is. Fun little platformer. We have the Super Mario Collection, which is actually Super Mario All-Stars, so yay. A Link to the Past. And then we have, geez, it's a lot of games. Mega Man X or Rockman X. Mega Man X2. And believe it or not, Mega Man X3. I have Mega Man 7. And Rockman and Forte. Mega Man and Bass. Which is really cool game. This was actually my first official LP, but it was done on a different channel. Interesting. I might upload those videos because I still have them. Just for fun, I don't know. Donkey Kong Country. And we got the whole trilogy, 2 and 3. And then I have 2 copies of Super Metroid, just because this is another game that I've just played way too much. I sort of got into the speedrunning aspects of this game, and I started to practice this a lot a couple of years back, so I bought 2 just so I could have some extra saves, you know, so I could practice certain sections of a game. Anyway, let's now we're done with all my physical games. I'm thinking about showing the Wii games I have for Virtual Console, but I'll do that later. We still have some interesting stuff though. I'm gonna show the consoles, but I'm also gonna show some other interesting things. Well, this isn't very interesting, but this is the disc for the Game Boy player. But we have some cool stuff here. The Link's Awakening booklet, which is very cool. I'm very happy that I still have these. I also have the booklets for Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, but maybe that was kind of obvious. Here is the booklet for Link to the Past, which is really cool. You remember back in the day when booklets were actually kind of fun to look through, when they actually existed? And there's like original art in here, and God, I'm just so happy that I still have these. Yoshi's Island. So happy I have this, and again I'm so happy that I have this one, Donkey Kong Country. Yeah, I love these booklets, they're so awesome. And I have parts of the Ocarina of Time booklet. This one unfortunately has deteriorated over time, and every now and then I find these pages when I look through old boxes and what have you, so it's unfortunately it's not the whole thing, but it's still cool to have, I guess. And then I have this thing, which is a map of Hyrule, which I don't really want to fold out because I'm always afraid that it's going to break because it's old, but this one is really cool. It has like some walkthroughs of the Light World dungeons and some other kind of information. Really cool. Really glad I have this one. And now I want to show you something I actually found today, and I thought I had actually thrown these away. So I wasn't a subscriber of Nintendo Power. I'm not even sure it existed in my country back in the day, but I did have some interesting, or two magazines which are called News, and they show, well, new releases. And so let's see, can I get this one on frame here? This one has like Secret of Mana in it. See, I remember these. I remember having these as a kid, but I thought I'd thrown them out or something like that, thrown them away. Here we go, Secret of Mana. Very expensive for its time, I think. Also here, Donkey Kong Country. Isn't this just amazing? I don't know. I was so happy when I found these today. I was going through some old boxes yet again. And yeah. And this one, I'm really glad I have this one, because let me see here. Well, here's Lufia. I always wanted to play Lufia. Well, you have Mega Man X here, which is super awesome, but I got more excited when I saw Super fucking Metroid. Oh yes, oh yes. Now, I never played Super Metroid as a kid, but I was aware of its existence, and I think this must have been the magazine that made me aware of its existence. This one's also really expensive. These games are really expensive for its time. Holy shit. So yeah, this is kind of it's kind of neat, kind of cool, kind of cool. Oh well, here we have Wario Land 2. Speaking of the devil. Really cool. Alright, so now I'm gonna see if I can get to the consoles. So, okay, so here we go with my consoles. We have the PlayStation 2. I used to have two back in the day because I remember one breaking and we were, you know, having it fixed, and that would take weeks upon weeks. So we decided to buy a new one because they were pretty cheap at the time. But this is the only one that's working. The other one is gone, has been gone for a long time. So then we have PlayStation 1, of course. This is actually my sister's, believe it or not, that she got Christmas '96, I'm pretty sure. But now it's in my hands. Yes. No. But as I said, I'm keeping these things here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I have to move a little bit. This is my Xbox 360. I think this one is called the Slim, right? I think. This is actually my third one. I've had two before, both of them broke, which is kind of interesting. You know, this is a fairly modern console. Well, I guess now it's not, but I'm still sitting on my original Super Nintendo, and it has worked since, what, 92, 93? And I'm on my third Xbox 360. That's kind of interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Anyway, I've had no problems with this one so far, so I'm happy now. This is my N64. Beautiful transparent green. Yeah. All right, let's see if we can move some things here. This one is really heavy, so need to be careful. Some handhelds. We have two Game Boy Advances. This is my original one. I bought another one in Japan because the D-pad became a bit stiff on this one, so decided to buy this one instead. We have my Game Boy Pocket. Nice little thing. I haven't used it in ages. And then we have Game Boy Color. Also haven't used in ages, but it's cool that I still have these. Here is my GameCube with the Game Boy player. This is the one reason I bought a GameCube. This one is actually Japanese, so I don't have any games for it. You know, I do have GameCube games, but I can't play them on this console. But this is the main reason I bought these, because I was tired of these things. So, whoops. Okay, now to the old ones. We have the NES, which, as I said, this probably comes from my cousins, I think, at some point. I actually decided to put in a new, what is it called, pin 72 connector in this one 2 years back, because it wasn't barely working, and now it works a little bit better, but still, I think I need to clean the insides, and I also need new controllers for it and what have you. What? These are identical! Oh no! This one is a Super Nintendo and this one is a Super Famicom. So it's my original, of course. It's all yellowed. This one is in a bit better shape. Then what? Wait, something's wrong here. Oh, this is the Super Nintendo Mini, which is my latest addition, I guess. And I thought it was a bit gimmicky at first, but then I decided it was worth it. As someone who wants, as I said, I want the English versions of games too, and this one had a lot of games I wanted to buy, so I thought for the price it was actually worth it. So yeah, so these are my consoles. These are my consoles, my games, some other random crap. I might go to the Virtual Console Wii screen now, but at least I'm done with the physical stuff, so yay. I'm not done yet. I still have my Wii. Yes, my Wii. This is the last console. Okay, now I'm done.